along with some of its other Eastern European neighbours, Romania is one of the countries that has capitalised, if you can use that word with communists, on the fading holiday popularity of Spain. Last year, the number of people taking Spanish holidays fell by 10%, while the number of people going to Romania went up by something like 50%. Chris flew to the capital, Bucharest, to find out what the attraction is. He also visited Sinaia in the Carpathian Mountains and Mamaia on the coast.
Every summer for the past 12 years, Radio Holiday has been broadcasting its multilingual mix of pop music, information, news and advertisements. The sea may be black and the country red, but Romania has made it its business to get onto the same wavelength as its tourists from the west.
Mamaia is Romania's oldest and largest coastal resort. Some 50 hotels are strung out along a 5-mile sliver of land which divides the sea from a vast freshwater lake. Two things bring the British here: first, the price, and second, the expectation that Romania will be different.
In Mamaia, the immediate difference is that it's uncommercialized, quieter, and for teenagers at any rate, rather duller than most Mediterranean resorts. It's a bit like staying in a huge seaside park, relaxed and relaxing, but with not much more on offer than sun tempered by perpetual wind, sea which is safe and clean, and sands which are superb. For those who like their seaside tranquil, it's economical, and for the curious, it can be fascinating. By the beach, there are a few small bars and snack bars, and even fewer shops, at least shops where you can buy Romanian goods with Romanian money. But in or near just about every hotel, you'll find a com-tourist dollar shop, Japanese radios, British and American drinks, French perfumes, as well as Romanian handicrafts, all have their prices marked in American dollars and can only be bought with Western currencies, sometimes for less than at home.
There are very few formalities involved in coming here, but one of them is the business of changing money. Because most luxuries can only be bought with hard currencies, Western visitors may find themselves being pestered for cash, generally by touts offering a higher rate of exchange than the official one. But the rule is that all money must be changed in recognized bureaus, and again, there's usually one in your hotel. Changing money on the black market is illegal.
Virtually all the British in Mamaia come on package holidays, and they stay in a selection of modest, medium-sized hotels. This one, taller than most, is otherwise typical, plain to look at, but representing good value for money. A fortnight's full board goes from £164 in low season to £204 in high. The building may not be as stylish as Spanish hotels or the service as polished, but as the Romanians point out, here there's no risk of holidaymakers being caught in a strike. What Mamaia lacks is the variety of nightlife, sports facilities and restaurants to be found in Western resorts, though there are these traditional style houses, each one serving the food of its particular region.
Some holidaymakers have told us that while the quality of the food in their hotels is high, the packaged menus tend to be monotonous, which is a pity because the local dishes are both varied and highly flavoured without being too foreign for British tastes. This house, for instance, is from Dobroja, the region we're in now, where one of the specialities is crayfish, and you can get a beer here, and that isn't the case in every restaurant.
Constanza, the biggest port on the Black Sea, just 20 minutes from Mamaia and a regular destination for excursions. Mamaia makes up for its own lack of activities by serving as a springboard for trips, some going as far as Russia, Istanbul, even Cairo. This is one of the shortest. Although Constanza isn't a tourist town, it at least provides a chance to see something of Romanian life outside a resort. The mosque is a reminder of Turkish influence. The archaeological museum of the Roman occupation. Most people visit the capital, Bucharest. It's a spacious, gangling city. Broad boulevards, piazzas the size of parade grounds, and thick woodland give the place an overwhelming scale. On the outskirts of the city, in another park, is the village museum, a group of genuine old houses which have been brought to Bucharest, lock, stock and lintel from all over the country. Under a great dollop of thatch, this is a house from the southern Romanian plain, so poor that half of it was built underground to save materials. A fisherman's house from the Danube Delta. And the oldest house in the village, a 17th century single-roomed hut from Moldova, whose last occupant was, by all accounts, very reluctant to be parted from it. The Carpathians curl across the country like the squirrel on a tennis ball, great blunt peaks thrusting out of a thick green pelt of pine. Sinaia, one of the main mountain resorts, is spilled along the floor of the Prahova Valley. The original hamlet grew up round a monastery where 11 monks still live. Then, towards the end of the last century, the king set up his summer residence here, and Sinaia suddenly found itself fashionable. Today, the handsome turn-of-the-century villas are either hotels or holiday homes, some privately owned, but most run by the Ministry of Tourism or the Union of Consumer Cooperatives. Package holidaymakers tend to spend a week inland after a week on the coast. For example, for between £200 and £220, you can have a week in Mamaia and then stay both in Sinaia and Bucharest. There's also a holiday for over 60s, costing from £182 to £192, with the whole fortnight in Sinaia. A ski resort in winter, Sinaia's summer temperatures are in the mid-70s. Walking is the main activity, plus, of course, excursions. Brasov, an hour away, is a colourfully and perfectly preserved medieval town built by merchants from northern Europe who were brought in by the Hungarians to help colonise the unruly Romanians. This building in the square, dating from 1290, was originally a watchtower on the edge of the village. The oldest houses, built 500 years ago, are clustered round the huge church. The people of Brasov also built this, Bran Castle, a fairy tale fortress which guarded an important mountain pass on the borders of Transylvania. You can hear the legends approaching already, and legends stick to Bran Castle like the green print on dollar bills, because this, the country's most famous tourist attraction, is Dracula's castle. At least according to the holiday companies it is. Transylvania was real, one of the 3 ancient kingdoms of Romania. And so was Dracula. He was a ruthless 15th century monarch, King Vlad III.
But whatever else he was, Vlad wasn't a vampire. He never lived here at Bran. And what's more, Dracula's creator, Bram Stoker, didn't even set foot in Romania. The whole connection between this castle and Dracula was concocted by a very shrewd American tour operator. And the Romanians, while living it up on the proceeds of the legend, have been trying to live down the myth ever since. There's not a single pair of souvenir fangs in the place.